The sponsor of today's interview is College Soccer's Next. College Soccer's Next is the #1 college soccer recruiting service focused on helping aspiring prospective student athletes achieve their dreams of playing college soccer. Some of the services that they're able to provide, I got to read them off the list, include a college soccer mentor who's gone through the recruiting process firsthand, a strength and conditioning coach, a sports nutrition coach, a professional highlight video editor, as well as a personal evaluation and strategic proven plan of action, as well as much, much more to make your dreams of playing college soccer turn into a reality. Book your free consultation call today down in the description at collegesoccersnext.com. Take your first steps at earning your college soccer scholarship today. Enjoy the episode, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the KickABall podcast. We have another returning guest, Michael Adedokun from Ohio State University, one of the best midfielders in the country, on the best team in the country so far, according to NCAA's rankings. Michael, how you doing, my man?
Oh, very well, man. It's been great. Nice to see you again.
Likewise. I mean, I wish, I remember when it ended up, we've talked on and off, just throughout the season, just wishing you best of luck on the matches up ahead and everything that's going on. I know I hit you back. I know I messaged you talking about the Michigan game specifically, how big a game that was. But, I mean, it's a pleasure to finally, to have you back on and be able to talk with you again. And, I hope all is well, my brother.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I've been busy, so I would say that I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no
sorry
problem.
because I'm supposed to join you guys like long time ago, but during the season because I'm also working on my graduation, so so that keep me a little bit busy just to do my schoolwork, and then obviously our season is going really great, so we just have to keep our head and keep doing what we're doing. So all those stuff have been keeping me busy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know what? Regardless, I would have waited. I would have waited 3 years from now when you were on your pro team to do the second interview. I would have waited as far as it would have taken.
You guys are amazing. So I just have to find time, just to come back to you guys, talk, and then like it's fun to have the chat because the last time I came here talk to you guys, it was amazing. So and I never take that for granted. Yeah.
Oh, I really appreciate it, Ken. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
so let's talk about, I guess, just this season as a whole. I mean, I don't know, you know, I feel like everything is out there in the public eye, but there's still so much that we don't see, not being in the locker room with you boys and seeing the practices in and out, every little in-game adjustment. I mean, we see the #1 at the top of the ranking, but you know, what does that really mean for us to really be able to comprehend that? Like, what are some of the things that, maybe I've been missing that KickABall's been missing, that the average fan is missing from this Ohio State locker room, this Ohio State environment?
Man, last season was a little bit difficult for us. So which is like it wasn't our best season. We just have to like we did all we can do last season because we suffer with a lot of injuries. So, but after the last season, I think our coaches like they did a great job because that was my first season with Ohio State as well. So after the season, they did a great job. Trying to talk to everyone what we need to do personally as a person. Immediately the season was over. So I think that was when the preparation for the season started. So so even though before like the new guys came in, maybe the new freshmen and or what's it called transfer. So it's just all about you personally as a player who played last season. So what are the things that you did wrong? So you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what can I do better just to be able to help this team? And then me personally as a person, I've always wanted to be like a guy who want to challenge himself to get better. And then, being part of the Ohio State program. So I think like I've got the best facility, the best coaches who can help me to grow as a player. So which is like, and then it's the same thing with everyone in the team. So we just work hard every single day, and then we see ourselves as a brother. So in the spring, I think like coaches like they do a lot of great job in terms of like trying to play different player in different position. So, trying new things, how it's gonna work. And then obviously like majority of our injured player they come back and then we you know, try different players and then like, in the spring, the preparation like I said has started like immediately the last season was over. So and then like in the spring we work really hard. So in the summer, so I did a little bit of what I can do, which I know like some of the other guys too, they did what they can do just to prepare for the fall season. So I didn't get to play USL this past season, but was yeah, because I have to do my internship. So then when I was doing my internship, I have to do it on campus where I can have the chance to be able to use the facility to train and prepare for the fall season. So, which is like then after my internship, I I just every day. So after my internship, I have to go in the evening, like just to go and train, or maybe like if it's like my shift is like in the evening, I have to train in the morning before that. So just for me to be in good shape for the season. So, and then I think like other guys too, they prepare themselves well for the season because as I could remember, like majority of our guys, they came in fit, really fit. Everybody was challenging, like, you know what, I want to play. And then I think like the desire, the passion that everybody have, you know, we all know that it's a privilege to be able to play for Ohio State. So, and then we know like this team is just behind like if we put a lot of effort and then like the hunger that hey man we want to achieve, we can achieve anything. So everybody just come together, and then I feel like everybody are on the same page. Even in the locker room, we are brothers.
Yeah.
When you can see that on the field, when someone messed up, there's another person to cover up for him. There's no time for excuse. After you cover up for him, after the game, the coach is gonna tell us like, hey, what we do wrong, and then like from there we move on into the next game. It's just like one step at a time.
I think that was exceptionally well said,
Yeah,
especially coming from a leader. I know, from someone who I know is a leader in that locker room, and then given that perspective, I think sometimes not 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 on Ohio State because you see this in just the cohesiveness of this team every single game, like you were talking about. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a game where you've been out of it. There's
right,
never been a time where anyone has looked at Ohio State and figured, oh, well, no, it's never happened. But I think sometimes it's lost on some other programs who maybe don't have that leadership from player perspectives. And there's no program that comes to mind right away really with that from a lot of the guys that I've been able to talk to really hasn't been an issue. But
right,
how important have you felt player leadership is, aside from the coaches where there is the expectation of that leader
right.
role, but from guys like you in that locker room being able to take that on as more of like a mentorship idea. What does that look like, and why is that so important to you?
I think like everything is all about standard that you set for yourself. you
Mhm.
know. So if you set a really good high standard for yourself, I think that will help you to achieve a bigger aim. So if you think low of yourself, you know, that's what you'll be looking at, you know. So for me and the other guys that are seniors in the team, so I think we are all on the same page in terms of like, no, like I said earlier, we all know that it's a privilege to be able to put on Ohio State shirt. Everybody always look at it like at the beginning of the season as well, like, yeah, you know what? I've seen like a lot of critiques online, like people like criticizing Ohio State, like yeah, they are not they are not what they think they are when we were first ranked like number 2 in the country and stuff like that. But me, it's none of my business. It's just your opinion, you know.
Yeah,
When like it's just your opinion, when you don't think Ohio State is number 1 in the country, or you don't think like they're number 2 in the country. That's just your opinion. So I don't really care. But in terms of leadership, I think all the seniors, there's nothing like we all like welcome all the incoming freshmen really well, and then obviously like if you watch our training, the standard, we train the way we play. So the standard, we do everything like the way it's supposed to be to be done. So in terms of like doing the little thing right. So, if a freshman do like a little mistakes, we just have to pick him up. Hey, this is where it's supposed to be. This is where it's supposed to be. So if a freshman is a good player, you're welcome, man. You can do it. We need you. We want you to help the team. So that's the thing about this team. So, I feel like this is one of the best team like I've been part of it. Because in terms of like a relationship, everybody are like kind of like on the same page in terms of like coming together, you know, just to know like, you know what, Mike, we need you. So if it's like another player in the team, hey, we need you. We all know what everybody can produce on the field. So we want you like to be at your best. So whether mentally, physically, so we just want you to do like what you can do to be able to have the team. So and then those are the things like if the senior are not setting the standard for that, I don't think like that would be like really. But everybody, we are just doing our job. I won't say like only to the senior, the junior also they play their part. But I think like seniority, like in the Ohio State, we don't take it like as a seniority. We just take it like in terms of like what's it called, coming together for the benefits of the team. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's powerful though too, because
Right.
sometimes it can be, um, and it does not sound like this at all, but sometimes it can be a little bit of an expectation of or a powered role that ends up playing
Right.
negatively to the team dynamic. But that's not it. It doesn't sound like that at all with you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so like our two captains, they have like something like, you know, I think for them, the two captains that we have in the team, they understand like how to when things go wrong, they understand like how to call everyone together. Even before the coach come into the picture, they understand like, hey, this thing is not supposed to be done this way. And then there are some leaders who is gonna go wrong about it, like this thing. That's why I said like we do the little thing right. So this thing like we might see it as a little thing, but those little things it goes a long way. So our lead, like our captains, like yeah, they just come together and like yeah, in terms of like oh, what we supposed to do better. Even before it is like happening, they already say it like oh, you know what, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. So me personally, I won't say like obviously like I'm a senior on the team, I'm one of the leader in the team. But for me, like those two guys, like they did majority of the job in the locker room. Those two guys, yeah. So me, I can only play my part as a like I'm also a senior, you know, in terms of soccer or maybe like little things that I'm supposed to be part of. But those ones like they are the guys like we live into this like for them to make the decision. And whenever they make the decision, everybody follows it. So that's the thing. They play big roles in our success this year.
So I want to hear. I love that perspective, and I love that insight to be able to see this. But I
Right,
want to get your thoughts on some of on really just on the Buckeye season so far. And I know I'm talking about this a little vaguely, but I mean the Michigan game comes to mind right away. I mean
right,
as we talked about, but a 6-2 win. I know you have a goal in there. I think you had an assistant
right,
assist
right.
too.
I mean, I came out in the game when the game was like 4-1. Yeah, so because
Right.
yeah, they kicked me, I got injured in that game, and they take me out in that game. So it was 4-1 when I came out.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like even to go into that match though too. I mean, with them now, I mean, this is a team that made it into the tournament as an at-large bid. Not to go so far into this, but any team in the Big Ten is
right.
not going to be an easy matchup. It's not something that you can just forget about or put off until
Right.
game day. What goes on for you in preparation, and how does that relate to the whole as the team though too? What does the preparation look like?
Oh, I mean, one game at a time. That's our mindset. So if you look at our first game of the season, it was against Cleveland.
Mhm.
So in that game, we have like majority of the possession.
Right.
So and then we tie 1-1 full time. That's our first game of the season. So
Mhm.
all our preseason game, we won all of them. 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. So like it wasn't like we already say like oh maybe like this season is gonna be like a lot of goal scoring, in terms of like the way we play. But we don't see ourselves as a team that's gonna tie against Cleveland because we've got the talent, we've got like the player to beat the Cleveland State. Well, after that game, I was pissed as a person personally. I was pissed like, oh my god, I can't go through this year. I was on the field for like about 3 4 minutes, like immediately after the final whistle, just like down there, because like we give everything on that in that game. If you watch the game, it's a game that I think I have like a lot of like like chances create. I create a lot of chances in that game.
Yeah.
But I feel like that game helped us to figure out who we are as a person, as a team. So immediately we lost that game, we tied that game full time. So then everybody have to come together in the locker room. Everybody was fired up. Like, hey man, we have to do something right. Okay, we can't go through this year because that was the way it was last year. We tied our first game of the season, then we lost the second game. No, and our second game is Akron away. So what are we going to do? Then luckily we went to Akron. We prepare ourselves. The coach do their part, the player. We are ready for it. And then we went there. We beat them 2-0. So then by the time we come back home, we don't let that get into our head because that's the thing that we keep talking about. Obviously, everybody's looking at it like, Ohio State, like they don't have like a great season last year or something like that. I don't think like anybody even see this coming that Ohio State is going to be number one in the country. Even me myself, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see us be number one in the country, but I know like we've got the talent, to go all the way to win the championship. So that's all I know. But being number one in the country, I don't know. I don't know that like we're gonna be one. So, but after that game, we just keep talking to each other, man. This is just the beginning. Let's keep working towards it. Then the next game, 4-0. So, our fourth game, I think we played 3-2. That's why we won the game. Everybody was still fired up. Like, man, we can play this way. Okay, we won 3-2. Okay, we have to like demand more of ourselves. Then when Big Ten started, like our first Big Ten was against Penn State. Everybody was there because Penn State ended our season last year.
Right.
We lost to them in PK last year. And we're like, okay, we are ready for this. Yeah, we are ready for this. Everybody's fired up, like, yeah, we are ready for it. And then we prepare mentally and physically like the way we can prepare. And then after we go there 5-0, and then I think that's when everybody was like, switch attention to us. They're like, that team is doing something right. That team is doing something right. That people begin to look us more and they're like, they keep diverting their attention to us. Like, okay, we got to look them and then like, what are they doing right? And there's some doubts. Like I said, on social media, I see a lot of stuff like, yeah, but I mean, I don't really care about social media that much. So, it's just your opinion, like I said. So, and then like after that, obviously the Michigan game that you were talking about, they are just like a team, like we're rival, that. So like, so when they play in our home last year, we tied 0-0. And then majority of our guys, even me as a new guy in the team, when I face it before I commit for Ohio State, they let me know about the rivalry. They let me know about the rivalry. So like, yeah. And then like, if you come to our locker room for the first time and talk about stuff like that, So like last season, this season we don't have it in locker room. Like last season, we have like what's it called? A the list of stuff like we make. Yeah. The list of stuff that we make that
Yeah.
day we want to achieve it. And the biggest thing, like among all those things, that was circled there is beat Michigan. You have to beat Michigan, yeah. So you have to beat, regardless of what it is, whether you're home, whether you're away, anywhere you are, you have to give your 100%. Me like obviously like I play in a team that play like a rivalry game because when I was at Dayton and St. Louis are always a rival. It's always like crazy game, to play against because it's very physical game. Like it's gonna be a lot of card, But Michigan game with the videos that they play for me before I even committed, like I was like, okay. And then when we played against them last season, a lot of crowd that is gonna be at the game, it was unbelievable. I just like, okay, we are going to their home, and I think a week before the game, they said the ticket is sold out. In Michigan game, we are playing at their home. They said the ticket is sold out. I was like, what?
Oh,
Yeah, I have one of my friends. I have one of my guys that play for them. One of my friends that play for them, Jason Buckner.
Jason Buckner. Yeah.
Jason Buckner. So I saw it on his story. I was like, bro, the the ticket is sold out. Like, yeah, bro, this is the big game, man. When I saw it and I showed it to one of my friends in the locker room, a close friend of mine in the locker room, like Ashton. I was like, hey Ash, the ticket is sold out. I was like, yeah, I saw it yesterday. I was like, what? Okay. Hey, we better prepare, man. They are ready for us. And then before we even started, like, I think like they started chanting, like, saying some, their fans, they're just doing their thing. So which is like, okay, just to get into our head and stuff like that.
Sure.
Luckily, like I think like first 3 minutes of the game or 4 minutes, we scored the first goal.
Yep.
The second goal, I have the assist. Then
Mhm.
immediately, like we scored the second goal. They keep chanting after the first goal.
Yeah.
Immediately, the second goal, we scored the second goal. That's why I go to them and tell them like, "Hey, you need
Yeah.
to, okay, you all need to shut up, okay."
Yeah. Please.
Then after
Please.
that, like, yeah, the second half, so we played 2-0 first half. The
Yeah.
second half, I
Mhm.
was by the side, like the student session
Yeah.
where I was playing, and then
Uh-huh.
they keep chanting like, yeah, overrated. So they are calling me overrated. I
Okay.
don't know how they know my
Sure.
name. I don't know how they know my name, but they keep like calling my name in that game. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Michael, you will lose it. You will lose it. Hey, you trash. They will say that, but me, I never listen.
They don't
But
watch the
it's funny.
games.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
watch the
funny to
games.
me. Yeah, it's funny to me because it's funny to me because I love it. I love the atmosphere. Like, okay, you know what? This is
Uh-huh.
like I really. Then they luckily like for them, they score one goal, which is like 2-1, and their fans were going crazy. I was like, oh
Mhm.
my god, hey, it's gonna be a long day today. It was second half, and they're trying to tie the game up. So then immediately they score, I have another attack. It doesn't end in the goal. So the guy he defended it really well. He defended the game really well, and then he got the ball. Then when I go back, you're like, yeah, they keep chanting whenever I get the ball. Overrated. Then when I score the third goal, I have to go back to them. So because before I wasn't paying attention whatever they're doing on the
Right.
field.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
you have
hear
to
it.
know.
So
Yeah.
I hear it, but I never say anything to them. So then after like I scored the goal, I went back to them. I was like, okay, bring it on. I can't hear you before, but now I'm listening. Okay, bring it on. Then they shut up.
No, but that's funny though, because you can't act like you heard them though, because then you're giving them what they want.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
after I
like,
scored the third goal, it was 3-1.
right.
Then I
Yes.
went back to them. I was like, okay, I don't hear your voice before, so now it's 3-1. I want to hear you more. Some of them DM me. They send me DM on Instagram. Yeah, like, hey, bro,
What?
nobody has come here and shut us up the way you did. Bro, just keep doing your thing, man. You're a baller,
Wow.
man. And I was like, oh, I appreciate it. It's just like funny sometimes.
No,
It's
yeah.
funny sometimes, yeah. Like, but it's amazing atmosphere, to play in such environment like that. They were chanting throughout the game. So which is like great, great. I really enjoy it. I really You see the final on Sunday is a lot of crowd.
Oh my
A
gosh.
lot
Yeah,
of crowd.
no,
Yeah, yeah,
huge.
yeah.
And then, I mean, that's just something else. The difference is like I feel like you're the type of dude who could run back every goal, every real appearance, like because you're just so particular about every movement that you
Right,
make. And
right,
it's always that repetition of trying to get better. And what I'll say real quick though, too, and I was gonna mention this a little bit later, but something that I haven't seen from anyone else really in this season, and maybe it's just because I'm not looking hard enough.
right,
It may be it. But you have this like it's almost this jab step that you're able to use when you're lining up a shot. And part of that is because of your awareness of your surrounding. If you
right.
only have a guy on you, you're able to take enough of that time. But that's also because you know you're able to finish that shot to be able to take that extra step and be able to still bury one. When did you realize that could be a huge part of your game?
I mean, in this summer, like I said, last season, immediately after the season was over, coach spoke with me about some certain stuff that I need to improve on,
Mhm.
as a player. So, so he talked to me like, yeah. So if you one of the things that he talked to me about is like, if you can release quick, that would be great. Because everybody know like you're a good player. So when they're looking at our team, they will know like, hey, he's a really good 1v1 player. You give him a little chance, he's gonna delete you, dribble you, and finish it. But every team, like the way they defend, they are very, very compact in Big Ten.
Mhm.
So everybody are very, very compact in Big Ten. So if it's like other conferences, they might like open up like, yeah, we want to play like football, like But
Sure.
in
Yeah.
Big Ten, like yeah, everybody stay like compact. Immediately they lose the ball, everybody's like going back to their half, like yeah, you know what? We have to like have as many guys as possible in front of the goal. So which is like if you want to score a lot of goals, you have to know how to release the ball quick. And in the summer, you know, sometimes bending the shot. So because me, I don't shoot a lot of balls before.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like I don't shoot a lot of balls before.
Right.
Yeah. But this season, like whenever I try to shoot, they block most of it. They block most of it. But I was like, then in the summer, one of the things that I did working on was like my shooting. I have to work more on my shooting. Like, when I shoot the ball, I have to make sure like it's very accurate. So like, if it goes straight to the goalie or maybe like something, like even the goalie can save it to my striker. So as far as like, I have the ball on this side, so which is like gonna be like a dangerous, put the ball in a dangerous area where like we can finish it.
Right.
And then so I realized like it's easy for me to dribble the first defender that is gonna come to me, but the second center back is gonna cover up for him. So instead of me like to dribble him, because me sometimes like I would dribble and I was still looking at someone to pass to. Coach would be yelling outside like, "Hey, shoot, shoot!" So even coach like, "You got to shoot that. You got to shoot that." Hey man, okay, don't worry. If I pass it and he score, hey, everybody score. Sometimes like, but I realized like the way they defend in Big Ten. So once I delete the first guy, so someone is there to cover up for him. So before I even delete him, I have to like dribble him in a space like him is not gonna fall, and I expect like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Immediately, like I dribble him, I beat him, I have to take the shots really quick.
Right.
Yeah. So then, if you look at like some of my shots from outside the box, first time I will fake the defender, like I want to take the shot.
Yes.
Yeah. So that he can open his
I
feet.
love that.
Whenever he open his feet, I'll just take it.
Yeah.
So like it's just like part of the improvement. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of the improvement. But now these days, like everybody like know like, oh, okay, it's good 1v1. So they don't like leave me with only one guys anymore. So once I beat that one, another person is there for him to. And then in front of the goal, they don't give me that chance to be in front of the goal. Edge of the box, they never give me that chance.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why like but either way we find a way.
Because they know now. They know now. They know now.
Either way we find a way. So I don't really care. I'm not like a guy who's just only very direct in one thing. No. So I do like different things. If this doesn't work, another thing is gonna work. So that's like the way I play the game. So see if like, hey, you think you can stop me like taking the shot? Hey man, I can dribble you. Okay, and then I can run in behind. Okay, if you think like because majority of some of my goals at times like I run in behind and I get the ball. Immediately I get the ball, I face your goalie, that's a goal. So like so the worst case you can do is like foul me.
Yeah.
So as long as I get the ball on my feet is another trouble for you. So like those are the things like I think like I work on, and then I think like majority of our players, I would say like our strikers, they are good finisher, man. They can finish because it's another thing for me like to create chances as a player. But it's another thing to have someone who's like quality player who can finish it.
Right.
So our strikers like they did a lot of great jobs here, So even though if I put the ball in a dangerous area or maybe I see them like, you to finish it up. So like everybody's just doing their job right.
And what I like though too, you talked about a little bit of the defensive switches,
Right.
of like drawing that second center back a little bit before. Sometimes when you're looking out for that shit, I mean it's the law of just the man to man. I don't want to say coverage, but the man to man defense that sometimes the Big Ten teams end up playing is because even if you're not drawing that second center back
Right.
to yourself, which normally they never put. I mean, it's been rare where they'll put two guys on, particular like trying to go just try to cut off that kind of shot. But you're leaving open a zone or another defense or another one of your teammates open, and that ends up. I mean,
Right.
your awareness will take it from there.
If you look at our game that we play on Sunday, oh my God, that was the way they defend Michigan because of what we did in their home and then what we've done throughout the season.
Yeah.
They never want to give me a space like where I can isolate myself 1v1. So they never leave me like in an open field.
Right.
So they never do that. So because they don't like, oh, okay, this guy is good in transition or something like that. Or I don't know, but they did like, sometimes like when they do their homework, but either way, hey man, if you think you can stop me, like, this is a team. It's not all about Michael alone. So, so it's not all about Michael alone. So if you like overcommit your player to Michael's side, the other side is way open for other guys to score goal. That's the thing. Yeah. And then as far as my team is winning, oh man, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So we just want to get a victory, get a trophy. I have only 2 rings before. Now I make it 3. So national, hopefully. Yeah, I'm hoping for that, because we have high expectation on that.
So when did you realize that this team was different though too? I feel like every team can say, um, you know, we were able to win the right games at the right times. We're such a cohesive unit. But
Right.
what separates Ohio State from the rest of the rest of the 47 teams in this bracket?
Uh, I think I would say before I even come to Ohio State, you
Mm,
know, one of the things that make me make my decision to come to down to Ohio State, because obviously, like when I go to the portal, I have different options.
right.
But coming down here, I just feel like they have the coach who understand the game really well. So our coach, he played the game, he played for crew, like he played for US national team. So me coming down here is gonna help me to grow as a player. So I want to put myself in an environment where I have to challenge myself. I want to play in better conference. So that's one of the main reasons I live Dayton.
Mm,
That's the biggest thing that make me live Dayton. I want to challenge myself, like, you know what, I want to play in like big conference. So coming down to Big Ten, I have other teams in Big Ten that won me.
right.
I have another team in ACC that won me. But I come to Ohio State because of like our coach. And then when I look at their season, the season before I came, they did really well.
Mm,
So they did really well. They didn't win anything, but they did really well. So when I was looking at their team, I was like, oh, they've got the player, you know, they've got the player, they've got the talent. But I think like it just takes time, it's a process to get to that place. And that's one of the main reasons I decided to come down to Ohio State. Some people are asking me like, so the people that I talked to, and I told them my options, like, among all the options that you can have, why Ohio State? I was like,
mm,
you don't worry about it.
right.
I
Yeah.
I bet like those people that ask me why Ohio State now, they know the reason now. I hope I answered their questions now. So obviously, like, but when I come down here and I go to the locker room, like first, I see like the kind of like the connection that the boys they have, the kind of connection that the boys they have. I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Then later on, like when I came down to the team, into the team. So obviously, like the season didn't go well last season, but I knew it in my deep down in me, like this team can produce. Sometimes when you see my Instagram, I was like, I still believe, like we can put something up. I know it's deep down in me. So a lot of times I posted something like that, but I feel like this season the main thing that really changed is when people doubted your ability.
Mhm.
You know, at the beginning of the season, people doubted the ability, like Ohio State, like, a lot of people are just not like, yeah, it's just normal every year. Maybe like they are American football school, not
Mhm.
like soccer school.
Right.
Not like soccer school, but I guess they have their answers too now. So, I don't have to talk to anyone like about like, yeah, you know what,
Yeah.
this and that. So, uh, but the biggest thing about it is like, I think our coach is top class. He's top because they make like a good they recruit a lot of good players who is gonna be like beneficial for the team because there's a difference between when you recruit like a good player or maybe talented player and the player who can fit in into the system.
Mhm.
So they always make sure like they recruit a player who can fit in into the system. Yeah,
And I think it's difficult sometimes for the outside fan to understand
right,
why you go for the fit more than just getting the best 11. Because there's some teams in the country that that they'll force their 11 players, that the 11 best players,
right.
they'll force them in whatever it ends up being. But that's not how you build a football team. That's not how you build a soccer team.
Yeah, right,
Good, right.
right.
Um,
I think everybody
but
like other teams have like quality players. They have the talent players. Sometimes when I watch some players, I was like, oh, this guy is fantastic, man. I
Mhm.
would be like, oh, what is this guy doing in college? Supposed to be pro by now. But when you look at him, let me use USL as an example.
Sure. Yep.
So there's some certain player that I play against in USL, and I'll be like, no, this kid is fantastic. But in the fourth season, he doesn't have a great season.
Mhm.
You know, But me, deep down in me, I know like this guy is a good player.
Right.
Probably the way he fits into the style of like USL team, the way they play, better than the way his college team plays.
Right.
So, but in college, when you don't do well, like nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody know you like that much and stuff like that. So, but if your team is doing well and you're doing well, obviously, like, you have to give the credit to who deserve it. So that's why I say, like, even though if our coach, like, the way they recruit to the certain level of like, if one player is going out of the team, like out of the game, the new player that is coming in is also as dangerous as the one that is leaving the field. So that's the thing. You can see like Ohio State can make 5 sub like within seconds and the goal is gonna come.
Right.
So that's the thing about like
Yeah.
our team. Yeah, that's the thing about our team because other guys that are on the bench, they're as good as the player that was on the field. So that's the thing. I think they recruit the right player who can fit into the system.
Very nice. Yeah, it's always encouraging to be able to have that idea. And I've said this over and over again with a lot of guys that I feel like that team really what's the phrase? Like a starting 15 or starting
Right.
16 for you to be able to have 4 guys or 4 or 5 guys who are just as impactful. Maybe they don't start,
Right.
but it doesn't
Right.
mean they're any less of a player than the guy that they're coming in for.
Right. Right.
Mhm. And then another thing though too about Ohio State, and then I want to ask you just about your own journey to make sure that we leave that out, that we get that out there too. But I mean, there's a Wisconsin game that comes up right to my mind. Um, down 1-0, scoring two, Wisconsin equalizes, and then you assist on the winner in the 79th minute. But you still have 10 minutes where Ohio State needs to hold on and make sure that everything is working perfectly. And I know you play a little bit more on this attacking role with this attacking, this attacking midfielder, but you also could play on the left wing and really operate on that left side, score when you need to. But tell me about holding on at the end for some of these matches and what that really means to be able to get results down the stretch.
So I mean, so I think after we lost the UCLA game, our following game was Wisconsin. So with the way we lost against UCLA, I think that game it wasn't our best game to be honest, but I didn't think like we deserved to lose that game
Right.
because in that game I hit the post, which is like if I scored that ball, it would have been 2-0. Then they come back, they beat us 2-1. Then after that, and then me, I'm the guy like I'm a guy. Everybody know me in my team, in our team. If we lost the game, I just go home. I won't be able to sleep. That's the way I am. So if we lost any game, whether we are doing well throughout the season, we lost one game, I won't be able to sleep. That's the way I am. I was like, what did we do wrong? I always want everything to be 100%. So our winning, I want it to be 100%, which is like, obviously in soccer, that's not possible. So at some point you will lose some games. So, but just lose the game that is not going to affect you. So when we lost that game, I was like in my head, like, oh my God. And then I heard it from our coach, like they haven't beat Wisconsin in 7 years.
Really?
Honestly. So when I was talking to him after the game against UCLA, it's like, yeah, our next game is like against Wisconsin. They haven't beat Wisconsin in 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. And my response was like, I don't care. That's what I told our coach. It's like, yeah, I know. They're not going to get the result this year. That's our coach. That's what our coach said. Like, yeah, they're not going to get the result this year. Now, whatever it takes, we're going to give it. Then throughout the week, we do what we're supposed to do, prepare ourselves really well. We recover and then we train well, we train hard, and then we're ready for it. So first of all, like they score pen. After the pen, and then like yeah, we just have to switch things around. Like okay, because me, I was playing the middle before. Then they changed me to the wing. So then I go to the wing. Like obviously I drag a foul and I score free kick. So which is like 1-1. Then I think like their right back, he was saying some dumb stuff to me. So but me, I don't really care honestly. So I don't really care.
Oh yeah.
Even the last Sunday game, the defender was saying some dumb shit to me. I only talk to you after the game. I'm like, hey, dude, what's the result? That's what I'll tell you. Yeah. So that's what really matters. What's the result? So then the second half, I have another assist, which is like 2-1. Then they come back 2-2. 10 minutes to go. Then everybody's like, "Hey man, you've got 10 minutes. If you want to win the league, obviously, if you win that game, we go to the top of the table. If we lose, we are going to third because we have Indiana and Maryland ahead of us.
Yes.
We just need to win that game. Then we're like, hey, we've got 10 minutes. Then in that game, like, we grind it out. Immediately we score the third goal. Everybody have like, okay, back off. Then I have to be like the only guy in the front. So like any ball. So because when the team see me up front, they won't be able to attack as much because they
Right.
know like, yeah, hey, once he get counter attack, he can dribble like two guys on his own and finish it. So they don't do that much. They just kick long ball from there. The center back, they were sitting back a little bit and stuff. Then we grind the win out. So then we are happy with that. So come home. So another game that was tough like that was like against Michigan State. Oh my God. After that game, I wanted to cry. Because immediately we tied the game, Indiana already won the league. So we have to win against Maryland for us to be able to win have the first seed and win the league. I came home, complete 1 week, I didn't talk to nobody.
Right.
Yeah, because like we've worked throughout the season and we didn't get the result. Because if we get the result that night, Indiana, we just need to go to Maryland and tie, and we won the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we play 2-2. Indiana already won the league. So we have to go to Maryland, which we know is a very tough environment to play.
Oh, right. Ludwig.
Yeah, because their fans and everything, is obviously very good team in the country. So I was like, okay, we can only keep our head up. Immediately after that game, I just post like on my story, like, yeah, we go there for war, whatever it takes. We have to win the league or whatever, because we can't walk throughout the season and not winning the championship. No, it doesn't make sense for us. So then we go there. So we won 2-1. So which is like everybody was happy. And one thing I like about our team is like it's not just only one person. It's everybody. We all want it more than anything. Everybody in our team, they all want it. Like, you know what? I want to be the champion. I want to be the champion. Immediately, the bracket came out yesterday. Nobody even talk about like, yeah, who is in our bracket or not. One game at a time. That's what we always say to ourselves. One game at a time. We grind it out. So I don't know. One thing that is for sure is like there's no Madrid in this game.
Right.
In college football, in college soccer, there's no Real Madrid. If there's Real Madrid, yeah, that's when you can panic. But any other person that is in the league, oh man, we are the number one in the country, obviously. We are number one in the country for a reason. So, and then we keep doing what we are doing. So that's what really matters.
I think there's people that are looking at you like you're Real Madrid.
I guess because you are the number one in the country.
Right. Oh man. I mean, no, I mean that's some of the best, most valuable insight that I feel like I really could get. I love being able to talk and pick your brain really just about the season. It's been such a blast, like for me to be able to talk about this.
Thank
But
you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
so I want to give you the time now. I mean, and, normally.
I don't do nothing, so it's up to you. If you have more questions for me, I'm open for it.
Yeah, I want to hear your story. I want to hear your first memories in football all the way up until let's say getting to Ohio State. I want to hear every bit of it. I want to hear every moment of your story or everything that you're willing to tell me.
Oh, that's a long that's another hours. Okay. Oh, I mean, you already know like I'm from Nigeria. So I'm the last kid of my parents, and then like obviously like when I was younger, they don't want me to play.
Really?
I have to sneak out to go and play. So that's the funny story about me. So my parents never want soccer. They just want me to go to school, get my degree, probably be a doctor or maybe like be a sport journalist. That's what they want. Yeah. Maybe like they just want to see me. Either you be a doctor or someone who's gonna be talking on TV. That's what they want. So, because back at home, like I came from like a very humble background. So my parents, we just have to work hard to be able to put the food on our table. So that's the thing about us. And then so growing up, I just have to like grind it out. My brother played soccer for a little bit, then he quit. So then later on, so that's the one of the main reason like my parents never want me to play because him too, he always sneak out to go and play. He always sneak out to go and play. But me, like, then when my parents realized like, oh, you know what, because I play in my school. When I was in elementary school, I play. So then like all my obviously like I was playing part of the men's soccer team. Then like, oh, okay. With that, my mom go to our school. She complained, like, hey, I do not want him to be part of no men's soccer team. Yeah, you have to go to she go to our school and then she complained about it. Then later on, I just like, okay, you know, I think our headmasters, we call it headmasters in Nigeria. So headmasters have to go and talk to my mom, like, hey, you know what? Oh, we need him. He's good. And this and that. I'm like, okay. Then she gave me that opportunity, like to be able to be playing for school. Then when I graduated from my elementary school, obviously I'm going to high school. So I was still playing. Then like I joined my a local academy back in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So in my hometown. So then I joined the academy. I was trained a little bit. Then before I got like a scholarship in my high school. Then I was in high school, so which is like sport and college academy. So which is like you can just go to school, combine both education and soccer together at the same time. So where I was captain there for a long time. So like then my senior year, Dayton came into the picture, and then like they just picked me up to come to Dayton. So I was in Dayton for 2 years. I realized like no, this is not what I want. You know, I want more. Obviously, like when I first got to Dayton, I wanted to go back home.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do. Dayton is a good program, but compared to like I came from like a football environment. So soccer is all our life. Like the way we play back in Nigeria, soccer is our biggest sport. And I came to Dayton. So when I came to Dayton, when we are playing, I'll be seeing like we don't even like have like 200 fans on the stand. I was like, back at home, we have a lot of people watching us.
Right.
Yeah, like, what is wrong here? Oh, I don't think I can do this. I have to go back home. I'm like, but obviously, like, compared to where I was coming from, is a better life when you come to America, because it give you the opportunity, like, to get your degree,
Right.
build yourself to be a better version of yourself, so that can open up opportunity for other people that are coming, you know. So I just have to, like, be there. When I came down here, I struggle with English a lot. I struggle with English. So, you know, uh, we speak English in Nigeria, but my English wasn't like, up to now it's not that great, but like, it's way better than then. So I was like, okay, you know what, it is what it is.
Mm.
It is what it is. You just have to find a way to get better every single day. And later on, I challenge myself, like, because that's one thing about me. Even when I was back at home, I always want to play against the best.
Mm.
I always want to play against the best. So if you look at my resume in USL too, I play with like Dayton Dutch Lion my first year. At Dayton, they were not good. After the first 5 games, I was like, no, I'm not playing anymore. Like, no, I can't play in a team that is not good. They are not helping me to develop. So
Exactly.
then later on, I go to Flint. We have a good year, like good run. So we are fighting for playoff. Then later on, I got opportunity to play for Flint. So which is like, okay, probably one of the best in the USL. So I went there. I played for them. We have a great season. Well, we wanted to win the championship, like national championship, but we lost it. Obviously, we lost in semifinal, and then things change a little bit for me. So, which is like I have to step back a little bit and get my what's it called? Do my internship. So that's why I didn't play. But me, I just like to challenge myself. So that's why like I decided like to come down to Ohio State so that I can be able to compete in like okay against big school, whatever school. Yeah.
And I know the Fun City Bucks is no joke when it comes to trying out with those teams. I mean, I know a guy, Jackson DeBruson. and he was telling me you get your collection of guys at the beginning of the year, and there's no expectation as to who's starting. You got to try out for this
Right,
team.
right.
Tell me,
Jackson, I met Jackson my first practice. I
really?
met Jackson. Yeah, my first practice. After my first practice, he just walked to me. I just think like he's one of the player, for to be honest.
Yeah.
Because when after the first practice, I was like, oh. Then we talk like, oh, why are you not training? Like, nah, it's not a practice. It's just like a team something manager or whatever he called himself. Then I don't remember. Then it's like, oh. Then when he talked to me about it, like, yeah, I was like, oh. Then we have like a decent chat. He's a great guy, great guy. Then we have a little chat and like, oh, okay. Then later on, and then I think like one thing about them is like he said, everybody have to compete for their position. But one thing about them is like they always have a good team every year.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a kind of team like is before you're going to Flint, you have to know like, hey man, this year I want to challenge myself really well. I want to get better. If you're like, yo, you think average of yourself, like, I'm not good enough, don't go to Flint. You have to
Mm.
have mindset like, yo, I'm the best in your head. You have to have that mindset. Like, hey, man, I'm the best in my head. If you have that mindset, yeah, you'll be able to play in Flint. But if you're doubting yourself, like, yeah, I think I'm not good enough, you can't play in Flint. Mm-mm. Nah. So when I go there, like, yeah, I got there. So they play first game before I joined them, because that was when I was working on my transfer.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So they played the first game, which was away against Kalamazoo. Then the
Yeah.
second game, I played the game. We won against Midwest 3-1. I scored free kick in that game. Then that was like, oh, okay. And then like their coach is a really nice guy too. I love their fans though.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, everybody there want me to come back, join them back, and I also want to join them. But my time obviously is just too busy for me to join them.
Because you're also focused on graduating
I have
college.
to get my degree, man. That's what my parents want. That's what my parents want. They want me to get my degree so I can, I mean, it's good for me now because, like I said, it's a good, I'm a better version of myself now, you know, because where I came from, like I said, is I have like very very humble beginning, so which is like back then you not just only me about playing soccer, it's a lot of kids on the street who wants to play. Their parents don't want them to play because once you go on the street, you have to be like a kid who's like ready to leave his parents before you can play soccer. Because it's not like here that everything is like way organized.
Right.
Everything's well organized here. So back at home, nothing is organized. You have to go on the street. You start playing on the street.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and then like with that, when you join the street, sometimes like you might just like fall out of hand. Like you might be like not be able to see your parent as much and stuff like that. So which is like not what your parents want. And then when my own time, I just feel like coming down here, it helped me personally as a person, but it also helped my community, basically my hometown. Because like a lot of kids there, they look at me today and they be like, "Oh man, I want to be like Mike," because back then, like I remember I grew up in a place called Water Base. It's water base, yeah. So everybody there, like all the kids there, we only wake up in the morning, we do car wash. That's where we make money from. So you go and wash car, you make money, or maybe like I help my mom to sell fruit. I have to hawk bananas, I have to hawk yams, I have to hawk the different fruits. So like, but if you want to make your own actual money, you have to go and like wash cars, like car wash. That's what we do. Yeah. And then after you make your own money, you go and do gambling. That's our normal life. That's our typical day. That's the kind of environment that I grew up. But now I feel like a lot of kids back at home now, they look at me now and I'm like, oh, we are proud of Mike. Some of them like whenever I post something, they comment. Some of them is gonna send me DM. The one that I still remember, I will respond, you know, and then I will respond and like, oh, just keep walking. There's nothing like way too big for you to achieve. You know, life is gonna offer you opportunity, but one thing about life is like, are you ready for it? Because before you're going to get the opportunity, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. You know, you're going to go sometimes, sometimes you would be like, hey, man, I don't want to do it no more. I've been in that situation so many times. Like, yeah, I don't want to do it no more. But for this, me, I always see it as part of me. Like, there's no reason for me to say I'm not gonna do it no more because I feel empty whenever I don't play.
Right.
That's the thing about me. Like, I don't see anything exciting in the world if I don't play soccer.
Mm.
That's the thing. Everybody that know me, they know me that much. Like, hey, even on my TV, I watch soccer majority of the time.
Right.
I watch soccer on my TV majority of the time. I'm not a movie guy. If I want to play video game, I play FIFA. So soccer is all my life. Like everything that I got is like soccer. So like and then majority of the kids back at home now they look at me like and their parent like they free them now to play.
Mm.
Yeah, they free them, because in the community like nobody has ever make it like out of there just to go and make it through soccer. But they
Right.
see Michael now like Mike is like study abroad, obviously he got full scholarship, he's doing whatever is this, which is like great. Yeah, it's great. But for you to be able like to go this far, you have to trust in your first. Trust in yourself, trust in your own ability, and you pray to God. Everything is gonna go your way. So, that's why I say like it's a rough journey, but I can only be grateful to God for everything, like, everything that I've achieved in life. Nothing to complain. I can't complain.
Mm. And so I gotta imagine that the move from, of course you have the Lord's guidance and understanding that certain things are going to happen and come into your life for certain reasons. But, I gotta imagine one of the hardest decisions that you've made at this point was, with the uncertainty and not knowing what college soccer was going to bring you,
Yeah,
going from your home country in Nigeria out to Dayton, Ohio,
right.
and that adjustment. I mean, firstly, I want to know what led to that decision specifically, but also what was your coming to America moment? When did it feel like when did you feel like you were able to look around and be like, yeah, this is America?
I mean, how do you guys call it? Maybe grade 10? Okay. America call it grade 10. So, which
Mhm.
is like, yeah, that was like my XS1. Nigeria call it SS1, which is senior high school one. So, because we have the way we do our school back in Nigeria is like junior high school one, junior high school two, junior high school three. And then we do senior high school one, senior high school two, senior high school three. That's the way we do
Okay.
high school. Yeah. So, my when I was in grade 10, they tried for me to come to America. Then I failed my visa interview. Yeah, 3 times. I failed my visa interview 3 times. Then I back off like, no, I'm not doing it no more.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it because my academy, they have like a lot of guys that's already here.
Right.
Yeah, that are here. So like I don't know if you know Achara.
Was
Achara, yeah. Achara. He played for
oh yeah,
Houston. He got drafted by Toronto, I think.
yeah,
I think so.
I know the name.
Yeah. So Achara, Ifunaya Achara is from the same academy as me. So
Mhm.
I don't meet them then, but I get to see pictures of them in the academy. So David Egbu, he got drafted from Akron,
Right.
yeah, by Vancouver. So he's also like from my academy. So those are like the kind of inspiration that I have because that academy was in the city. The
Mhm.
academy was in the city. That's when I got my what's it called? I got my scholarship for high school.
Mm.
So that's a different environment compared to like my home environment, like my hometown.
Mhm.
So I always looked up to those ones like, oh, you know what? Okay, if they can make it that way, I mean, obviously I can make it. And also like academy, they have like other players that are playing in Europe. But me, like, I want to go to Europe. I just want to play soccer. But football, like, I don't know nothing about America, to be honest. Until
Right.
when they signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That's when I know anything about MLS.
Right.
I don't know anything about MLS.
Mhm.
Then when they signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that's when I begin to watch MLS and like get to know about MLS. So, but when I came down to Dayton, I thought like I'm going to MLS. That's what I thought. I thought it's gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play in abroad now. I was so excited about it
Mhm.
because Dayton coach, like I think he came to Nigeria.
Right.
He came to Nigeria for recruitment program, and then like yeah, after they done with their open tryout, they play against my academy, and then like he really liked me. So because I was the captain in our academy then, so he really liked me. It's like, oh, that year I was playing at six. because I'm a six. I play as a six back in
Okay.
Nigeria. So yeah. So then he called me like, yeah, I like you a lot. This thing. If you look at my resume too, so online, so I played six my freshman year. But later on, because I can dribble, like but back in Nigeria, the way we play is different from like the way America play. America play, they focus more on like uh physicality, the
Right.
fitness, yeah. But back at home, we only focus on the skills. Yeah, we only focus on skills, dribbling, technical aspect of the game. That's what we focus on. So because if you can't dribble, you're not a good player.
Yeah.
But now, now football is changing. So even though you can dribble, if you don't do it with the right mentality, you can be useless.
Right.
So that's the thing. So you just have to like, have a little bit of everything. So then when I came to Dayton, so I began to learn more about America. Funny story for you.
Mhm.
My first debut was against Akron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and and the coach took me off 37 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So I played 37 minutes first half, then he took me off. Then I was
Okay.
mad. I got mad. I was like, what is this? How are you gonna take me off first half?
Right.
Because back in Nigeria, if they take you off, you're done for the game. You can't go back in.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I didn't
yes,
know.
yes.
I didn't know
I
that.
got. I'm like, wait,
I,
what?
I didn't know that. If they take you off, you can't go back into the game. Like second half, you have to go back, or maybe like they just want you to rest. It took me off 39 minutes, and I was like, how? My entire life I've been playing soccer. Nobody took me out of first half, and I was doing everything right. They gave me water. I was like, no, I don't want water. I don't want anything. I
Bruh.
just go to the seat to
You
the
thought you were
bench,
done.
and I sit. I was mad because I don't know the rules. I don't know anything.
This,
I
this
don't know
shit.
the rules. I'm like, oh no. Maybe I was thinking in my head, like, what am I doing wrong? Because the way I was playing, I was like, no, I'm doing everything right.
Right.
I'm more effective, and I play as six. I connect passes. I don't lose passes.
Mhm.
Where I'm supposed to slow the game down, I slow it down. When I'm supposed to attack quick, I attack quick. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Then I later on, he didn't put me back in second half because of my attitude.
But that's just because you didn't know.
Then they have one Nigerian kid in the team.
Uh,
After the game, I was talking to him, bro. Did I play bad? But my teammate, everybody's like, nah, bro. The way you've been playing in practice, you're fantastic, man.
yeah.
You're a really good player. That's but you have to understand, like, hey, coach is gonna put you back. And I like, is it exhibition game? He said that it's not exhibition game. It's like normal game. Well, you can go back in. Then the second day, coach called me to his office. Like, Mike, you can't give me attitude. You know that, right? I was like, I can give you attitude. I can give you attitude. Like, because it took me off like 30, 39 minutes. I was like, am I not good enough or something? Because like, yeah, it's my debut. I was thinking in my head like that. Then it's like, no, you have to understand college rules. They can take you out. So I just want you to get your rest. Instead of 15-minute rest, you can get 21 minutes rest. So that's why we take you out. So you can rest enough and then you can play the rest of the second half. So you can go back and I was like, oh, okay. Then there's another game.
Yeah, I get
There's
you.
another game. We tie full time 1-1, and they said we are going to play. It's during the season. It's not like tournament. No,
No, right,
during
right,
the
right.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah, full time 1-1, and they said we are playing overtime. I was like,
yeah.
so if they beat us, are we done? They're like, yeah.
Right.
Anybody that scores is a golden goal. Then we play full time,
Mhm.
still 1-1 with overtime, two overtime, still 1-1. And I was waiting for PKs. They said no PK. I'm like, what?
And so, what about extra time too? Did you know there was
I
no
don't
extra
get it. I don't get it. I'm
time?
like, because me, I don't know nothing. I don't know rules. Then I begin to learn about the rules and stuff. But
Right. And then the
it's a
clock
long journey,
down,
man.
counts down from 45 minutes.
Right, right. I was like, no, no way. No way. But one thing about our coach, then they always make fun of me. Because me, I always think like everything's like Nigeria. Everything's like Nigeria.
Right.
Because whatever make you play overtime, even though if you tie after overtime, you go to PK.
Hmm.
You go and play PK. But them is like, no, no PK. It's like, then why do we play overtime? Because in Premier League, in La Liga, every league that I've watched, even in MLS, you type full time 1-1 is 1-1. That's the
Yeah.
result. That's league. So you don't have to worry about like who move on or whatever.
Mhm.
But, well, it is what it is. But I thank God like today, you know, if I have the opportunity like, to come again, I would never regret it. I will never regret it one bit because
Right.
it's a really, really like great opportunity, to learn about new stuff, have a different perspective about soccer in general and about life in general as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, what does that look like for you? What's this new outlook? What's this new Mike that, you know, eh, I haven't gotten to know until recently, so I don't really see the change. But what do you has wh- what do you feel that this experience has made you a better man from?
In everything, so obviously like if you go to college, college help you to develop, not only in soccer. I'm just talking about like in real world alone. So it prepare you for like professional environment. That's one thing like college does. Like, if you have like what's it called, your degree. So me coming down here, I don't have no vision of what I wanted to do except playing soccer.
Mhm.
But now I have like a different perspective. Soccer is for a moment. So when you're 30, 39, 40, you're done playing soccer, obviously. So like, but you have to understand like at some point in your life, you have to do something meaningful with your life. You can make money from soccer, but if you don't know how to invest all those money or stuff like that, you can lose them easily. So, but if you go to college, I think college is gonna help you navigate your way, just for you to have a different perspective about what you can do different after your career.
Right.
There's so many opportunities in the world, but the decision making come from like, in terms of like if you have like a good education. So depend on like, yeah, what you want to do after. You have to be thinking far away from like now. You
Mhm.
can live in the moment, but you have to be thinking like, yeah, having like a dream of like, oh, okay, at some point, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. And I think that's what college has exposed me to. It gave me that insight to be able to look beyond now. Because me, I was looking at like, I go to Europe, I make money, I do whatever. That's what I was thinking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, but now, you can be a better man in terms of like, like in my hometown, there's so many people there that are rooting for me. They want Mike to be successful. I want to give back to them. Yeah, it has always been part of me from my freshman year that, hey, I have to give back to people there, everybody. Whether you're rooting for me or not rooting for me, I just know like life is just all about opportunity. And anybody that have opportunity can do great. That's one thing about life. So then coming down to college, like I said, it shaped I have a different perspective about myself in terms of like, yeah, growing, become a better version of myself, more professional. So it's helped me to grow. And then in soccer wise, obviously I'm developing every single year. I just keep getting better and better and better, working hard, and then get to learn about the game more and more. So which is like that's why like, and I don't think like any that is gonna stop anytime soon. So me, we keep learning throughout our time on it. So that's the thing about life.
So with the next few months, with I mean, I'm sure a lot of things are going to be moving fast for you in these next couple months. I plan on, I'm, just by, you know, understanding the kind of teams and the kind of people that have really been watching you as of late. How
Right.
do you make sure that you're going to stay centered not only on each game moving forward for the rest of this tournament, but um potentially. Actually, I don't even want to think about that. Not yet, because you got the tournament on your hands. So I don't even want to talk about like what's the rest of what's going on. I won't even make you entertain that right now. But for the near future, right now, what's going through your mind and just making sure that you're staying focused.
Oh, I'm still the same mic, nothing changed. So the mic of yesterday, mic of like last year is the same mic. I'm just learning, I just want to make the memories with the Ohio State as much as I can, So obviously like you have a limited time. So me right now, I do my job on the field. So I don't look at the next level yet, or maybe like, yeah, this is coming, this is not gonna come. The moment everything that is gonna happen is gonna happen. You never know. So if it's in your destiny, it's gonna happen. I believe so much in God, and God has brought me this far. That's what I know for sure. So me, I can only do what I can control what I can control, which is like show up every single day, do what I've been doing for the past 4 years in college. So be the same guy that I've been. So there's nothing is gonna change. So whether I'm gonna go to pro or maybe I'm gonna be somewhere else or not, no, I don't really think way beyond like that. But if it happens, yeah, it happens. I'm ready for it. So if it goes the other way around, it's life. You pick yourself up and then just keep grinding. You know, when it's your time, everything's gonna work out. So and I know like our time is now. That is why Ohio State is winning. So everything in life is all about time. So patient is like the thing that I've mastered in my journey. So I was patient with myself. I was patient and then keep learning. So, you know, for the next couple months, I still keep doing what we're doing, and then make as much memory as we can. Because at some point in my life, if I come down back to Ohio State and I look at it, I will feel like crying. Because each days, if I know like I look back and I know like, hey, this is gonna end soon. So, I'm gonna graduate soon. I feel like no, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. But it's life. You just have to move on at some point. But the memory, like I said, is what live with you forever.
Michael, that was exceptionally well said. I appreciate your thoughts on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So I think with that, I'm all out of my questions that I want to ask you, my man. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to talk with you, and I'd like to thank you for wanting to come back on. But I always would like to just leave the last couple minutes and the floor open to you in case there's anything that I didn't cover, anything I didn't ask about. I'll leave it to you, and we'll go for as long as we need to. I've loved the conversation again.
I mean, I can ask you like you guys like, yeah, why did you guys started KickABallPod? Why did
Sure.
you guys start
Um,
this?
So I'll be honest. I mean, I was the one. I came in a little later. So how this ended up working out was I know Julio Ruiz and Cullen Freeman were the two guys who first started it back. I think 2 summers ago at this point,
Yeah,
and it just came down to wanting to highlight you know undercovered ballers. You know what I mean? Because college soccer didn't never really had the coverage it deserved. So the way
mhm,
that they saw it was being able to bring coverage first into USL two, because that's where
right,
all guys like you were being able to play.
right.
And soon enough, I joined right at the time when we started doing college interviews. And all of you guys still go back, or most of you guys, unless you got internships, most guys end up going back to USL two to go play. So we talked to them about college, talked to them about USL two ball, and it was really just about telling stories like yourself, which deserve to be heard.
That's nice. Because like, the first time they reached out to me about
Yeah,
like coming to I was with Flint
yeah,
coming for the interview. So I was like, oh, okay. Boy, they already interviewed you, Ugo. I don't know if you remember Ugo Bakarak.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I spoke with Ugo. I was like, oh, Ugo, what's this all about and stuff? It's like, oh, then he gave me like a good impression of you guys. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what, I work with them. And ever since then, like I've been following you guys. Hey, you guys are doing an amazing job, man. Yeah, there's so many players like you guys will post them and I go and watch the players like, how did you guys know this player? Because
Hey, look, it's all magic that happens behind closed doors between us at KickABall. That's all. We it's our job to find these dudes that.
oh my god. I was like, oh, okay. Because whenever I see like every week and I see like, oh, the list of this player, and I would look at that player and like, okay, kick a ball, they posted this player this week. I watch his game. Then when I watch this player, I was like, oh my god, absolutely baller. But college sometimes like if you don't have the stats, you might not like even like be among the topic.
Oh,
Nobody
right,
like but or maybe like your team is not doing well. So if your team is doing well and then you don't have the stats, so that's normal. But
right.
if you have the stats and your team is not doing well, so people might know you. But if you don't have the stats, your team is not doing well. Oh my God, is
Right. And it's there's so much talent that slips between the cracks
right.
that you never end up seeing. And it's not for fault of the player. It's just because, oh well, maybe the team's not performing and it's not giving him the right opportunities to
Right.
shine. Not the fit. Like you were talking about, being able to get the fit of the right guy in the right system, and you never hear from him. I got three guys right in my head right now that I want to interview that I have written down, and we just gotta wait to, you know,
The end of
figure
the
it
end of
out.
the
I'll
season.
end up getting
Yeah.
my contacts together.
A lot of people are busy now. Today's my
Right,
off
yeah.
day. So today's my off day for with Ohio State. That's why I have the time. Like, okay, you know what?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can do this. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you for bringing me back. It's
Yes, of
always
course. It's a
it's
pleasure,
always
Mike.
an honor. Yeah. Thank you.
Best of luck with the rest of the
Thank you.
rest of the
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.